So today's session will start debugging. So the actual main content we are going to discuss in above cloud level, how we do the debug. Before going to that, we know everyone we are working with the classical programming, right? So right now we are using GUIs. In GUI, we are doing the debug. First, you need to understand that what are the types of debug. Like someone please mute it. So types of debug. So what are the types of debugging? In our, we have two types of debugging is available. One is internal debugging, and another one is external. So what is the difference between internal and external? First, you need to understand this. So internal means the request and response both will come in within the system. Okay. So we imagine we have the one box is available. This is my ECC box. Okay, this is my ECC box. So inside this ECC box, there is some program we have. So let's take I have program like MB50. So in this program, I'm providing my input. Okay, so we are providing the input and you are getting the output, right? That is my request and response, right? So in this, you are providing some inputs and you are getting the data as in ALV format, some other format. Suppose if you want to do this program as a debug, if you want to do this program as a debug, there's a two options we can do that. One is either you can put a breakpoint in the program level, you can enable the session breakpoint. Okay. So we can enable the session breakpoint. Okay. You can enable the session breakpoint. And another one is you directly can use slash h at T code level. You can do, dig into the debug mode in the transaction. So if you know the particular statement or particular function, if you want to debug, at that time you can go to the program on that location, you can enable the session breakpoint. So if you don't know where my I want to put it a breakpoint and where my data is fetching, I don't know the locations and the straight away you can go for slash h. Straight away you can go for slash h. So this slash h will turn into your program into debug mode automatically. So this slash h we have to enter in the command field. Okay, this is internal debugging. So now external debugging. So let me keep this as internal. So this is your internal debugging. So in this internal debugging, major what and all we are going to do in real time. For people, everyone is working. You know, right? Sometimes we are modifying the data. We are modifying the data in the standard tables, right? This is not recommended, but unofficially we are doing right. Sometimes we're modifying data in the standard tables like MARA, MARCI, or transactional data, not master data. Transactional data we are modifying. Am I right? So at that time, what are the tools we are using? Either we can go for SC16 or SC16 transactions we have. So by using these two transaction codes, we are modifying. So today also we'll do this activity, how we will do the changes in that by using this transaction. And coming to this, another point. Suppose we are working with some standard transaction codes, right? We are working with some standard transaction code. That transaction code may be anything. It's like ME21N, okay, or VA02, sales order transaction, any transaction. So I want to know that. So I want to know that some values, how this field value is populating. So like how this field value is populating. Field values. Is there population or is there any calculation behind this field? How the data is populating inside the field? That is the one. Or else you people's functions, mostly you know that whenever you are creating any document and all, sometimes you are getting as a messages, errors you are getting, right? You are getting errors. So in that error, so on what basis you are getting error? Always you can reach out to the developer. Hey, I'm getting the document. I'm getting this error. Could you please check? So at that time, what developer will do that? Based on the message you have given, right? The screenshot, what he will do that. So that is one aspect. And sometimes your function people will provide the we can design custom requirements, right? So, right, we have to design our custom developments. At that time, most of the time, I have noticed my functional. They're saying that, hey man, you can go to this transaction. So and so field, you can take this value, display in the output. That is the functional point of view. Whatever way you are saying, that is absolutely right. But as a technical, that I don't. Right, that I don't. As a technical point of view, I need to know this field, which table it is coming. this field value, which table it is storing, that you have to provide. That is your responsibility, right? So simply you are saying that on the transaction or delivery transaction, so and so field, I have this value is there. You can take this value and display them in our program. It is not possible for as a developer. As a function, we have to say that, okay, this value is sitting in so-and-so table. You can pass this delivery number or material document number to so-and-so table. You can get the data. You have to explain, you have to give this a theoretical point so that we can implement in the backend. So that time also we need to see that how much is feasible our functional side, because every time we can't depend on technical. At least few details we have to provide it. Few details we have to provide. So that activity also we'll try to see in this session, because those details we have to provide in FS, right? So at least a few activities we have to see that. So this is also we are going to cover in this session in terms of internal debugging. Let's go for external debugging. What is external debugging? The name we are saying external. So we have either ECC system or another SAP, another S4 system or BTP system, whatever system is there. So the external system may be a different. It may be, so it may be your, let me take SRM system. Okay. So, or it may be my EWM system. Okay. Or it may be my some browser like my Fiori application. Okay. Guys, if you have any questions, please ask me now itself. Once you can step into that system, you don't get any options. So fine. So now these are the different systems, because these in these different systems we'll receive the request. So we'll receive the request from these systems and we'll get the response, right? This is a request and response base. Now, in this case, how you'll do that? How you'll do the debugging? Because in the Fiori, in the sense, you people knows we are running application in the browser, right? Right, we are running the application in the browser. We have the Fiori tiles and everything is available through OData or some other interfaces. We are executing, and the request is coming via browser or some other application. But these are our systems, on-premise systems. These are not cloud. These are on-premise systems. In these on-premise systems, how you will get it? For this, basis is already enabled this in case of these applications, SRM and EWM systems. Basis team is already enabled RFC destinations for this. Am I right? So they will create the destinations on the system. So to connect these SAP systems, right? So where they can create these destinations? Anyone? What is the transaction code for creating the destination? Right. So SM59 is the transaction code, T code to create the destinations. Because why I'm saying is, so because sometimes this activity completely basis side, but we know people who are working with the interfaces like IDOC or some other things, right? So at that time we are providing destinations. I need to partner profile will be about destination. So who is in that our functional sometimes they will look into that. Okay, they want to see this destination which is pointing to which system and all. At least they need to know some information. They will come to this and they can check it over here. Okay, this is purely destination creation is completely a basis part, guys. But at least as a developer or a functional, we should know that what SM59 will do that. Because sometimes you are sending the request got failed. So at that time, first we need to check. As initial analysis will start from here, right? In case of interfaces, if you are sending my ECC is sending the data to EWM system, it got failed. Why it got failed? Due to destination issue or due to program bug or some other issue. If it is a destination issue, first I need to check what is my analysis step first. I need to check whether connection is established properly. Yes, if connection is there, then what is the next step you have to do? My next step is whether the user is there, right? From here to here, there is a destination going in the sense we have one user is there. Whether the user is locked or not, these are very common issues we are getting in real time. Right? Whether user is locked or not, that is one of the case. What is the other possibility? If user ID account validity entity is expired, Right? These are the possible cases. Our analysis will go like this. So we have to step by step, or we can narrow down that all the possible cases. Fine. So that and all we'll see later. Not now. This is not a right session. This is only for debug. So now I'm sending the request to this. So here, for example, my user A is sending the request. User A is sending the request. Okay. User A is sending the request from SRM system to ECC to pull some data. So there is a program which is available in your system. Okay. So there is a program which is available in your system. It may be whatever program you can imagine. Let me take program. So this user A is hitting this RFC destination. That RFC destination is hitting in ECC. Now the SRM team is claiming that hey, we are sending the request, but we are getting the response very bad data. We're not getting the response valid information. Could you please check why? At that time, how you debug this case? How you debug this case? Because if you are executing your program here only, we are good. We have the input, my function will provide my input, I can execute it, I can get the output. But in this case, the request is coming from the outside, other than not in our system, it is coming from the another system. It may be another system, or it may be a browser, or whatever it is. Then how you'll do that? So at that time, you have to enable the external breakpoint in your system. You have to enable the external breakpoint in our system. So most of the cases I have seen my functionals, whenever I am working with the very large interfaces, there is an input fields. I have hundreds of fields are there in input fields. It is too difficult to provide all the input fields in the request, right? If it is one or two fields, I can provide it. It is the hundreds of fields. It is too difficult to provide our functionals also. So at that time, what we have to do, we will request the SRM team, hey, could you please give me one request call? I can save test data as a variant. I can save test data as a variant so that I can reuse this test data for my analysis. We can do that. So at least for doing that activity, for capturing the test data itself, how will you capture that? For that, you need to enable the external debugger in your ECC system. That one we are enabling. So, but now the question is, you are enabling the external debugging. For which users you are enabling the debugging? That is a question. We are going to put an external debugger in ECC. This also program 2. So here user A is executing the program. Whether same user is hitting your ECC, whether same user is hitting your ECC system, it may or may not be, guys. If it is a dialog users, definitely same user will be there in ECC. We have to enable the user specific breakpoint in ECC system. Or else, if there is another the separate users are there, we have different types of users are there. So if any specific user they have created here, so that user ID, you need to know that user you have to enable the breakpoint. Otherwise, your debugger will not hit. Otherwise, your debugger will not hit. Is it clear? Right. So these are the cases we have. Only in this area, but this is for initial analysis purposes, which is required, and a few things which are required for preparing the some documentation like FS. When you're providing FS, most of the cases, if you people have more experience, then you know this value is stored in this so and so table, you can give it to us directly. But once you can reach to certain level, so you have to do minimum analysis your end also, because always we can't depend on technical person. So in some initial analysis, we can say that whether this is possible or not, what type of interface we are designing. Like here, we are saying that interfaces we are saying, what are the ways we have? Because here we can do RFC function modules. I can create proxies. I can create a web services. I can create IDOCs. These are the techniques are there. So at that time, if you are in SME position, then we have to take a decision. Like, oh no, this one we can't go for IDOC. Why can't we use as a RFC function module instead of that? So at that time, you need to know that what is the pros and cons. This is high level people who are having more experience. They can take a decision on that because based on my functional suggestion or technical senior people, so based on their confirmation, we can design that function modules, the interfaces level, whether it is a RFC function module or proxies or IDOC. So this is complete mutual understanding between functionals and technical. So fine. Now let's go into this system. First, we'll do the internal debugging. After that, we can focus on the external debugging. In normal GUI, you can do that. Once it is done, then you can jump to that cloud. In cloud application, how you are going to do that. So this one is if you people's functions, if you want, you can stay in the call, or else we can drop off this. This is also same concept. We'll repeat, but only the way of debugging is different. The screens are different. Approach is same. Nothing is difficult here. The process is same. First, we'll go to this internal debugging. So let's create one simple program. Just I'm writing simple program. Don't get confused. This one for name type, which is a string data type. Selector start from LT underscore will be just I'm taking up to 50 rows. Just I'm writing one terminal condition. It's greater than 100. So this is a very simple program. So now what I'm doing is, suppose if you don't understand this logic, what is happening? Let me create one input field. Underscore ID. So this is our input screen, right? So this is our input screen. So if you don't know program where it is starting and all, straight away you can use the /h or /h and enter, again hit enter. So after that, you can click on execute, you can provide your inputs and click on execute. So you can see your program by default, the execution started from the beginning line of your program. So in this is the beginning line of the program. So here we need to see that what data is coming under. So this at least we need to know some basic knowledge on the coding level. So what variables we are declaring, what and all we are doing this. So this technical will understand. Functional we will see that standard decodes level. It will help you guys. So this is for functional level. So you can see we have declared as a variables, and p underscore id is your input, and a select statement we have written to get the sales order headed data. So and placing into your respective internal table that up to 50 rows you are taking. So as of now, 0 records we have. As of now, 0 records. Now I'm pressing F5. So these are the keys we have: single step and execute, F7 written, and F8. F5, F6, F7, F8. So these keys, please remember here. So these are the very, very important keys for us. So this one F5, F6, F7, F8. Okay. So now let me press F5. So fine. Now you can see here total we got some data we have. So total we have 50 records. So in real time, what happens is you may get thousands of records we have in the internal table. You may get 1,000 records or 2,000 records or 3,000 records. But our function is saying that in this, imagine this is our result screen. So my function is saying that, hey, why this field dates are coming here? Or else there is this field value is coming wrongly. So and so record. It may be in 60th position or 70th position or 20,000 position, whatever position it is. So all records are coming fine, except this record, except this document. So in this list, I'm extracting this data, except this document. So I'm getting wrong value. Why I'm getting this value, net value? So At the time, he cross-checked with the backend tables, VBAK, all the tables. Data is everything is fine in the table level. But when I run this program, the value is showing huge value. Okay, this is a one case. Again, what after that, what he is done? He's taking this document alone. He's taking this document alone. He's providing this document number as an input and executing. So at that time, he's getting the expected value. Whatever value is there in the table, he is getting that value. Only the problem is when he is executing the multiple documents at a time. When he is executing the multiple documents at a time. Hey, 1 minute. So in this record, if it is only one record, when you are executing, data is coming as expected. But when you are running that multiple documents at that time, there is a mismatch one of the values which is not matching. So this is also one of the common issue we are finding in real time. So at that time, as a developer, if you want to debug this all the one record and all, we can easily debug it. Suppose if it is a 50,000 records, suppose it is a 50,000 records, it is too difficult to debug it, right? So at that time, what we have to do is we have one option is watch point. We have one option is watch point. We know that record position where it is coming. So we know so and so document, right? So we are saying that so and so document which is causing issue. So and so document which is causing issue. We'll take this document number. We can create a watch point. So now you can see here watch point how we are going to create. This is our work area. This is our work area. You can see we have the option is watch point in the application toolbar. Click on this watch point and here you can provide the variable. So the variable name, if I provide my work area ls underscore vback, so whenever the values are changing in this work area, whenever the values are changing in this work area, your debugger will be stop automatically. If you don't want to put all the columns level, I want only the specific field VBLN. Whenever new value is arriving this field, whenever the new document is arriving, your debugger will be stop automatically. Or else I don't want this. I want to put a condition. So you can put a condition here. So this document equal to so and so. My condition equal to my document equal to so and so document. So if you put a like this condition, even if your internal table having 10,000 records or 20,000 records, it doesn't matter. Now you can say at runtime. So you have what is the value is holding now? It is holding 0.8. It is holding 0.8. Whatever condition you have entered, once that condition is reached, your debugger will stop immediately here. So till that time, no need to press F5. Directly you can press F8. Directly you can press F8. So now you can see you are getting a message like watch point reached. Watch point reach, and you can see the value 11th record which is right. So now you can debug this record alone. No need to debug all the records because as you said, it is the only causing issue this document. I want to debug this document alone. But if I enter this document as a single record in my input field, I'm getting as expected. Only the problem is whenever I'm running with a bunch of records, that time only we are getting. So that time we have to use this option, guys. Watch point. This is the one option we have. And also, I want to see that this internal table where the values is filling, that internal table level also you can put a breakpoint. Sorry, we can put a watch point here. So simply you can provide the internal table name. Whenever records are inserting into this internal table, whenever records are inserting into this internal table, your debugger will be stop that location. You need to identify the above step. Okay, so step, the values are loading into this internal table. So this is the watch point behavior. Okay, so whatever watch points you are setting, those watch points are everything is available under here. We have the option. So go to break our watch points. Click on this watch point tab. You can see we have the watch point conditions. Everything we have, it is available in our system. Right. So let me go back to the other one. So I'm going to press F8. I'm going out of the program. Now I want to put a session breakpoint. So as already I said, we have to put a session breakpoint, right? /h just now we have seen, and also watch point also we have seen. Then go for session break. So I don't want to execute this program from beginning of the line. So I want to execute program from here because this statement and all I feel it is working fine. This is the actual logic which is going to display. So at that time, just place the cursor which line you want to do the debug. Place the cursor here. Click on this gray color area. This is your session breakpoint. Yeah, again, if you want to delete it, just click on it, it will delete it. The same option here also, which is available. Set or delete session breakpoint in application toolbar. Okay. So this is for your external breakpoint, guys. The second option is external breakpoint. So external breakpoint is for self-user. Again, if you want to do the user change, that we do separate setup, we can do that. This is session breakpoint. Now, you can say I'm enabling the session breakpoint. I'm going to execute now. You can provide your inputs, whatever documents we have, you can provide the data and execute. Your program will be stopped at this location. Your program will be stopped at this location. So this all the code got executed. This all the code got executed. Suppose if you feel like you are getting data here, IT underscore VBAK, no, I want to understand that how data is populating. I want to modify some records in this internal table for runtime. So let double click on it. You can select the record, select this record, and you can see we have the option change the selected row, change, delete the selected row, and append. You can add append means you can add the row, one more row, you can add it. Okay, you can delete it, and we can delete whole the table in that whole the records in the table. And also there is one more most powerful option we have. So this internal table data I can export. Now you can see we have save in a file. Why we need this is, sometimes we are getting issues in production most of the cases. So if you ask our functional, could you please replicate the issue in development or quality system? They said no, it is not possible due to data issue. Simply they will escape it, right? Whereas sometimes it is possible they will do that. Most of the people they will escape. I'm not saying all the peoples. Most of whatever functions I am working, few of them definitely they escape it. So at that time in production, if you are doing debug, carefully you can do the debug. What I will do is I will take this internal table data, main internal table data. Okay, I will take this internal table data. I can save it in a file. So just I'm going to download this file, the same set of data into my desktop. Okay, the same set of data I can download into my desktop. Same set of data I can download into my desktop. So now I can see the internal table data that's stored. Now I can come to my development system. So in debug, so I will come to this location, up to this location. So I will open this internal table. I can go over here. I can upload the downloaded file, whatever file which I have downloaded from the production system. You can see we have the upload option. You can choose the upload file. So in case if you don't have that sufficient data which are in development, develop quality environment, so few cases this option will help us, guys. Few cases this option will help us. So in this case, maybe if your functions, you can suggest to your function developer, hey, we have the option. Could you please take the data as a backup and could you please do it in our development environment? We can ask them. So they will try to do that. If you at least you can give this information. Like we are saying, no, data replication is not possible in our system because we don't have proper setup. But my developers are a bit scaring, like I can't move without proper testing to quality. At that time, few of the developers, what they will do is in quality, whatever data we have, I will upload it to this XML. Don't go for this Excel. You can go for XML format. So in this XML format, you can upload. This is the one of the option. So this option I tried with the production systems as well. So this option I tried as a production systems as well. I am taking some data in the production. I come to development, and after that I'm doing that all the activities based on the data. Okay, I recognize, okay, this is my code issue or data issue. If it is a code issue, then I can easily figure out it. Data issue, then definitely functions will sort out that one back. And now you can see some data is coming. There's a wrong data. We need to upload that proper format. So this is one option. You can just give a hint to your developer that the developer will take care of this. So here you can change the records. You can select this row and change the selected row here. You can enter the data. You can say I can enter MANDT and my document 10. So date, all the fields you can enter. You can hit enter. Automatically record will be inserted. The same data which is processed. Again, if I want to delete all the data, delete whole the table. It got deleted. So now my cursor is here. If you can notice here, there is a yellow color line cursor is there. Means the system is ready to execute the statement. The system is ready to execute the statement. From the statement again, I want to go back one step. I want to go back one step. So we have one option is there, go to statement. So just to place the cursor, which statement you want to go, just place the cursor over here in the menu bar. Go, click on debugger, click on go to statement. Click on go to statement. Now you can see it is going to be statement. So it is going go to statement. So this statement, when we are going to use this, sometimes we are debugging the data, right? My function says strictly, we have only one test case is that don't misuse this test data. If they say that, so whenever I'm going to insert the data in the table level, I can skip that particular statement, the data insertion, I can skip it in the debugging so that I can reuse the test data multiple times. So at that time, okay, imagine this is my commit statement to insert the records in the database. Once record got inserted, whatever test data you have provided, that data will be consumed. Again, you have to create the new test data, or else I can go to the backend tables, I can delete the entries, and I can do that. So instead of that, what I will do is, I don't, if I execute this statement, whatever test data you have given, the records will be created in the backend. So I want to skip this statement, and directly I will jump to this location. I don't want to execute this step and I want to jump to this location. So that's why you can place the cursor over here. I can click on go to statement. So at that time, this statement will not execute in the backend. This statement will not execute. This statement got skipped. Okay. So this is the one option we have. Fine. So let's go back to that another one. Session breakpoint we have seen. And coming to this external breakpoint. So external breakpoint, now you can see that when I click on this external breakpoint, so by default, you can see this external breakpoint valid for 2 hours, guys. This external breakpoint is valid is 2 hours. And moreover, by default, is showing, now you can see my user ID is showing. My user ID is showing. So suppose you are the user, if you are executing your Fairy application in the browser, you are executing. Okay. Now I want to debug it in my system. Because I'm the developer, I want to debug in the background. So at that time, what I need to do? So I can't put external debugger my ID, right? Because you are running Fairy application with your ID. Right? With your ID, you are running the application. Why should I keep my ID as an external debugger? No, right? So we need that RFC user. We need that RFC user. It may be your user ID, or it may be a basis use created one, common user ID, that one. So for that, what you have to do is first, you can go to menu bar, under utilities, click on settings. Here you can see we have the option is available, debugging option. Here you have to set the user ID. Here you have to set the user ID. So this is common for all the systems. If you're working with Word data or any other systems, this option will be same in this location. Go to user settings, click on utilities, settings, and provide the user ID. Which user ID you want to enable the debug. For example, I will provide the user ID as a 51. Provide the user ID, click on that. Is saying that already 50 users we have enabled external debugger. Do you want to keep 51 user is also active? Yes, I want to keep it. Now you can see this time 51 users is also active. This debug. This is validity for 2 hours. 2 hours. Now we can open your Fairy application or any third-party system. It may be CRM or it may be SRM system. You can run the application. Automatically, my debugger will be hit here. Automatically my debugger will be hit in this system. So that here you can say that. So whenever you are mostly dealing with these interfaces, right? So at that time, you people may get as a RFC function modules, guys. So you people may get RFC function modules. So suppose you can see, let me take a delivery outbound change. This is the outbound delivery change function module, BAPI. So nowadays we are using it. I can accept completely, but this function module, either if your function knows, your function will provide it, or else developer will do some Google and he will get it. Till nowadays it is fine. But as for ideal scenario, what SAP is saying that whatever function modules SAP is releasing, we have to use those function modules only. So this BAPI outbound delivery chain, which is SAP is not releasing, you don't have rights to use this function. In case if you are facing any issue with this function module, SAP will never support you. Even this is SAP is only designed this, we can accept. But in case of any issue with this function module, they will not support you. Strictly, they will not support. So they said, try to choose alternative approach. Try to choose alternative. So even we are using this function module in a lot of projects as of now. So now what happened is when the SAP is we are upgrade projects, right? We are upgrading from one version to one version. We are upgrading. At that time, maybe they will change this interface, or maybe they will delete this function. Maybe they will change this function module, or they will delete this function module. So at that time, whatever programs we have designed, those programs will give us a dump in our backend system. Those programs will give us a dump in the backend system. So this is a very, very cautious that when developers they're trying to use it. So we need to note this point as developer point of view. Functional, so we can inform to the functional first. As a developer, we have to inform to this functional. Hey, this functional module is not released. Are you sure you want to use this? If functional confirm, okay, you can go ahead. We can use it. We don't have. But the problem is, what if you're designing whatever programs we have designed as of now in our current systems? If you're migrating to cloud system, for example, if you're migrating to cloud system, those cloud systems, these function modules no more available. In cloud system, this function module no more available. We don't have rights to use this function module. System will not accept it. System will not accept it. For that, now can see, guys, there is a one I will try to provide after some time. So you know that what is the sales order headed data table? Most sales people are there. That's why I'm asking this question. VBAC, right? So we have the table is a VBA kit. So now we can see that, right? VBA kit table. As of everyone knows, the VBA kit contains sales order headed down. Suppose if I am working with the cloud system, if you people are working with the BTP environment with the latest version, you don't have option to use this VBA kit. If I'm writing a code by using VBAK, my programs will not accept. Definitely, I will get an error message. You don't VBAK is primitive. Don't use it. So for that, what you have to do? So for that, SAP has a released a few objects. Those are the released objects. We have to use this stuff. This VBAK. There's a huge changes will happen. That's why we're saying we are getting one word, right? Clean core. We are getting one word if people know clean core. Nowadays it is more popular in the world. We don't have option use this standard object directly in our programs. Similarly, the BAPIs you are saying Mara table also. If you try to see this material master table, so what SAP is saying strictly they're saying no, it is not released. Don't use it. Mara table now can see TABA. Then how to get the data from material master data as a developers? So we don't have option to use Mara. Instead of Mara, now can say I have provided alternate these things. Now onwards, if the functionals who is going to work with more advanced, those people should provide these details in our functional spec. Minimum. If you provide Mara, if I write a logic, so I will get error. So I will show you that 1 second. And not only this table, you have options also BAPI underscore sales order create. Everyone knows this BAPI sale order. For creating the sales order, we have to use this BAPI. So now no more this BAPI can't use it. If I'm working with the cloud system, BTP system, this BAPI is not available. So the functional you should know if you're working with the old, very old systems, we can accept I can do the code with on this. Okay, you know BAPI terminal. We can work on it. But if I'm working with the higher system, which is the S/4HANA 2023, which is on BTP systems, cloud environment systems, that time definitely these BAPIs will not avail. Either your developer should know on this, or else your function will have to provide some. Or else he is trying to call this function module. Yes, sir, this is invalid. This is not there. Please provide me the proper one. You will get this kind of discussions. There are many huge changes like VBFA, you know that, which is a document flow. See, VBFA is also not released. Further, they have released one object. So let's take this. You can go to your on-prem system. See 16 AM. I think it is 10 now. You can see my document first. Now this is my table. This is my table. So now onwards, I'm going to write the query, the select statement to this CDS entity. Okay. So there is a one CDS is there. Just I will try to provide you after this session. So there you can provide your normal table name so that what is the replacement object for that table, you will get that list so that it will help you guys in future. I'm not saying current situations. Because nowadays everyone is migrating to higher versions in Azure strictly. Clear? So let me jump back to our babbies. Hmm. Hmm. This babby level or else released object. Released object, your developer will help you on that. He will create one test class and he will provide you. Just you can ask him and he will provide you. But in function module, everyone knows, right? Our functionals knows they're well on this and they will go because in function module as a developer, I don't know what data I need to provide simply. So every day we are asking functionals, hey, please up. If my function set delivery change, okay, I will give this function module. Please provide the test data in this area. Simple my question. At that time, few of them saying, hey, what I need to provide here, this also I don't know. So at that time, what functional has to do is the first step, whenever he get a function module, first he has to look into the documentation. First, the step he has to look into the documentation. In the documentation, they clearly SAP will provide some information and also some kind of text data also they will provide. So this fields you have to enter this data. This fields you have to enter this data. Few functional modules, not this one. Few functional modules they will provide you. Because otherwise, what happens if I'm using this function module, I'm getting thousands of lines in my program. But unfortunately, after executing that, this function module is not supporting. Then it is very difficult, right? It is wasting a lot of time for us. So that's why before using any function module, as a developer or functional, we have to look into this functional documentation. Now, fine, you can see I'm going to put an external breakpoint here. Imagine this is my custom function module or standard function module. Remember, whenever you are dealing with interfaces, there should be a remote enabled function module, guys. So there should be remote enabled function modules. This RFC function module. Okay, so I'm putting one external breakpoint over here. I'm putting one external breakpoint. So my external breakpoint is set for user 51. So now that's it. I'm putting external breakpoint here. And from CRM system or SRM system or EWM. So EWM system, someone is sending the request to this one. So from EWM, they're hitting this RFC directly. At that time, your debugger will be stopped here immediately. So as what we have to do is just imagine it is landed to this page, not this one. So straight away, your screen it will be open here in the backend. As soon as you receive the request from that EWM system, that remote system, it may be browser, your screen it will open like this. So what we have to do as a first step, you have to save this data, whatever data they are sending, you have to save the data immediately in the system as a variant. So further, just click on this icon, click on this service of the tool icon. You can see where is the save. Right. You can see last option. Save parameter as a test data. Save parameter as a test data. Double click and you can provide your variant name test1. Continue. So fine. Now you can see my test data saved successful. So what test data is saved? Whatever input which you are receiving from the target system, the data is saved. Then you can execute or else you can come out of it. The test data is available now. So the test data is available. After some time, you can come back and you can give it to your developer. Hey, you can see you ask me the test data. You can see this is the test data. This is the test data. This is the test data which you are receiving from the AWS system. Please do the debug. Why we are getting the wrong values? This is also very, very important. So this test data preparation, who is going to do that? If my function knows, he can give it to us. If my function don't know, we can just inform to developer, please save the, I will trigger from the front end, save the one variant in the backend system. You can inform to them, if the people knows, he will do like this. So all the variants will be available here. And but here there is one question, guys. There is most of the cases I have seen. So if I ask functional, they said no, this is not my activity. You have to do that. So function developers are saying, okay, I can do that. Tell me what values I need to provide. Here, there's many input fields are there. What I need to provide because developer don't know. So at least a function knows some information. He will provide it. So this will be mutual understanding. Definitely, both the people should be involved. We can't force them one person to another person. Okay. Even if you provide the all valid data, if you are getting error, then inform to the developer, hey, I'm providing valid data, please check why it is getting error. Okay. And I will go for one point off the record. Hope this is clear for taking data into external for how we are preparing the test data in case of external is how we are getting the data. Is clear? Or any questions on this? So fine. So now let's jump to this. Yeah. Now let's jump to this one table level updation. So how you do the it is change in the table. This is not recommended, guys. And since sometimes we are creating data in the production, right? It's a very rare scenarios because program it is working, everything is fine. Maybe yearly 1 or 2 times it is coming, but we can't do the program changes and all. But my developer side, we don't know how to replicate the case and all. It's a very minor cases, like very 0.1% situations. Our functions will do what they will do is straight away they can go to the backend tables, they can update the data, the respective fields for emergency purpose. So at that time also they can use firefighter IDs. They don't want to use their IDs because they don't want to use their IDs. They have the firefighter IDs. So they have the firefighter IDs. So whatever activities you are doing with the firefighter IDs, everything will comes under audit logs. Please note that. Everything will comes under audit logs. So by using firefighter IDs, they can go to the tables and straight away they will modify it. For example, if you want to modify a single record, if you want to modify a single record at a time, you can go for SC16. If you modify a single record at a time, you can go to the single record. If you want to modify single record, you can go to the transaction SC16. So now I'm going to the transaction SC16. You can provide whatever table you want. I'm providing BPA. So if you know the document number, you can provide the sales order number. Let me take one sale order. I'm taking this alone. I'm providing the sales order. Okay, we just continue and select this and click on display. Select this and click on display. Now this is order got displayed here. Now what I have to do is I have to switch into the debug mode display. For that, put a /h, enter. Again, you can hit enter. It will go to your debugger. It will go to your debugger code. So it will go to debugger code. Now you can see here we have the code option is there. Code, just you can double click on the code. In right hand side, you can see there is the options which is come. So it is in development system, quality. In case of production, you have the firefighter options. Okay. So this is the code is there. Show means display. Edit means we can edit the record. INSR means we can insert the record. And DELE means delete the record. Suppose I want to edit the record. So just click on this change icon, type edit, and you can hit enter. Caps only, there is no small letters. Enter. Now press F8. You can press F8. So now you can see your program turns into edit mode. Your program turns into edit mode. Suppose now you can say I'm trying to remove this metal group because my as per my our analysis, the value is there in this field. That's why it is causing issue. So my function is saying, hey, if you remove this value, our all the documents will post as expected. So it will not create any error. So now the moment our developer is doing, they will come to this screen, they will enter into it. So this one, my suggestion is, as a functions, don't do that, and we can inform to your developers. Don't take a risk. You can take a developer's help and you can do that. So because while deleting these entries, now you can say I'm deleting these entries. The moment when I hit enter, so the moment when I hit enter, sometimes you may get some different kind of errors you will get it. You will get different kind of errors like this field value is wrong, this field value is missing, this is the check table entry is missing. You will get some this kind of errors. If you in case if you're getting this kind of errors, straight away don't click on save it. Immediately can come out of it. You can inform to your functional. Then when you said you can remove this value, so I removed this value. But the moment when I hit enter, you can say there is some different kind of error I'm getting. So you can say I'm getting different kind of error, which is saying that this field value is incorrect. If I delete this one, I don't know backend impact. What is the impact in the backend? And remember, once you can delete it, again you can't put it back the value. With validation related fields, you can't put it back. This is very, very difficult. So as soon as we are getting the error message over here, straight away you can inform to your functionals. No, don't do that. You can take a mail confirmation. He can take the risk, then you can do that. Without mail confirmation, don't do that. Any activity in the production as a developer. So just remove these values and click on save. You can see my record got saved success. Just go back and refresh. You can see we have removed this value and batch we have removed. So this is the one activity we are doing for single record. So in case of multiple record, what we will do? Suppose this is the only one record. Suppose I have multiple records. For example, I can say that we have created as a one delivery. Almost 1,000 deliveries got created. Okay, 1,000 deliveries got created, which is updating price as wrong price. Or else there is some block is updating. For 1,000 deliveries, due to some program issue, due to program bug, okay, there's a block is updating. Now, is there any tool which is available to remove the that block mass activity? Hmm? For example, we have one sale order is there. There is a background job, okay, which is picking all the open sales orders. And every day night 9 p.m., it is going to create the deliveries. So it is going to create the delivery. So deliveries got created. Due to program bug, the delivery creation program, there is some issue. Whatever deliveries got created, almost 10,000 deliveries created, by default, there is a billing block or something, invoice, some other block got updated in the delivery level. Is there any option to do mass activity to change the block? For material master level, we have some options like okay. That was I don't know. But in case if you have that number, so suppose if I want to do the multiple activities, I can go to the transaction SC16N. Okay, let me open my table. VBAK. Okay. I said sales also is there. Delivery is there. I remember. One of my colleagues did that. So now I can go to this one, VBAK. If I want to do that, instead of doing one record manually, if I want to do the multiple records, I can go to the transaction VBAK. Sorry, I can go to the transaction SS16 here. You can provide the table name. So we have to use we can turn on into the debug mode first, /H, enter, again enter. So here you need to provide the two commands. Here you need to provide the two commands. So one is gd-edit. Okay, gd-edit. And another one is gd-sap editor. These two commands you need to provide, and please keep this as X indicator, capital X, and enter. Now F8. And now it is completely turns into the debug mode. You can provide the order number, what are the order numbers you want, you can execute. So now this time it will open completely changeable. Now can see the table, entire table got open in the change. So you can do the values changes, whatever changes you want to do. You can do the changes, whatever you want to do. Okay, it's clear? So, any question on this? Hmm. Right. You don't get it. So SC16 level, whenever you're doing changes, if it have the check table functionality is enabled, so the values will be always validated at check table level. But here that those validations will be skipped. Check table, we have one concept is, for example, we have EKKO and EKPO. If my if my PO header is there, then only I can create an item data, right? Without header, I can't create item data. So at that time, backend, what happens is we have the tables, right? EKKO. Like let me open directly EKPO table. So you can see we have input or help check. So if you want to create a PO number in this table, if you want to create a PO number in this table, this number should be the PO number should be in EKKO table. EKKO table. As a SD side also the same thing. So you people are creating org structure, right? Org elements you are creating. You know, sales org you are creating. So the moment when I create a sales order in VA01, my sales order header data is coming over here. But the org information is updating in this table, right? You can see VKORG. So if you want to insert this value in VKORG over here, so there is a VKORG. This is the TVKO is the table. You are creating a sales org in SPRO transaction. So the value will sit in the TVKO table. The value will sit in the TVKO table argument. Okay. Right. So any questions on this up to now? Yeah, it will display. No, we can't. No, we can't. But one option, whether changes happen table level or field level, that is also question is there. Okay, table level logs or field level log. So based on the tool, if logs are enabled, then definitely we can get it back that field into the picture. CDHD or CD push. Yeah, we can definitely. Right. But I don't think you don't get entire values. Whatever you can see that for this, there's a huge values are there. You can't get it right. All the fields you can't get it. Only just you know that this record got deleted. That number, you know that. It's fine. Is it clear? So now let's go to this section. So now let's go to this section. So let me go open any standard transaction. Open any standard. VA02, let me open it. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. So those internal no those internal programs is part of your main program, which is using same name, then definitely it will trigger. If it is a different program, yeah, no, nothing is different. Right. It main program will trigger. Yeah. So now, your question now you'll get a more clarity in this topic. Suppose now I can say I'm going to the sales arm. Right. I'm doing. So let me open the sales arm. So you can see that the moment when I hit enter sales order number, I'm getting this pop-up. Suddenly my function is saying that, hey man, I have entered some other sales order number. I don't get this. Why I'm getting this? Because why I'm getting this error? Okay. Is it custom development or is it standard? We don't know. Right. So as a first step, what you have to do, just click on this technical, that's F1 document, help information. Few cases, guys, if the message is there, you can see, the program name, program itself is available. Clearly notice the screen. So most of the time, what happen is when we are coming over here, we are seeing this message number and the message ID we are seeing. Apart from that, you can see there is a program also which is available. Click on this origin of message. Click on this. You can see here the message is triggered. Straight away it is coming this location. The message is triggering this. So this is triggering due to else is triggered. And let me check if condition. Okay, due to some top level conditions which got failed. What is this TVUF? TVUF? So which is incompletion control fields. We can inform to our functional, then they will take care of it. I mean, because you can see the moment when I hit enter order number, so it is checking this data in this table, which condition got failed. There is no data, which condition got failed, which is coming. So at that time, the functionals knows these tables very well, other compared to others, right? Incompletion control. Okay, they know this. That term is said. They know this incompletion control. Immediately they'll dig into that order and they can find out is there any completion log is there, what data is missing. Now that the function will take care of. Few cases, few cases, you don't get this kind of programs, origin of messages. Almost 80% you will get it, guys, but we'll never notice it. But always you can see it and click on button. Our focus should be these two only. So, okay, anyway, I ignore about this one. I know this message one, V1, 105. What are the ways I need to find out this one? V1 and 105. So let me take this number separately now. V1 105. So if this message, you want to see that whether we'll go for long analysis. After that, we'll come to the short one. So we know the message and 105. I know this message number V1. Let me do what I will do is I will go to the transaction SC91. I can provide my message class V1 and message number is 105. Click on this. This is the message we are getting, right? And I can place the cursor here. I want to see the values list of this message. Select all. Whenever you're doing where is list, guys, please select all. Continue. So you can see that I don't find anything. Message V1 105 not found. If you get a program list, okay, you can see that we can put a breakpoint all the locations and you can see that. But this option we got failed. So what is the other option? Now clearly we know that whenever I'm running the transaction code, whenever I'm running the specific transaction code /VA02, so the moment when I hit provide the order number, when I hit enter, I'm getting the message. So that's why I'm putting a /H over here, enter. Again, I'm hitting enter. So this time I'm going to set the breakpoint statement level, guys. So this time I'm going to set the breakpoint statement level. It may be message. If you want to find out any baddies, if you want to find out any user exits, if you want to find out any customer exits, if you want to find out any function modules or exceptions, all the levels we have to put it. So this time I'm going to put a statement level breakpoint. Just click on this breakpoint, stop, and you can see above statement. So in this above statement, we have many statements are there. Select statement, or you can see the whatever statement we have. Other authorization checks. Sometimes while we are going to run the program, we are getting message authorization. You don't have authorization. So you are saying you are asking your developer, hey, give me that authorization object, I will get the authorization. So at that time, I can put a break. I can set a watch point at authorization. Sorry, statement point at authorization check, authority check. So again, if you want to baddies, you can see baddies we have. Call function when you are calling any function modules. If you are calling this transaction, it is calling into another transaction. At that time, you can use the call transaction statement. So this time you want only message, right? I don't want this. I can provide message. I don't know message number. Sometimes you people get a message. Just now we are getting the message number and message ID we are getting. But sometimes you don't get message number and message ID. Simply you get a message. So that's why I'm going to give the message. That's why I'm going to give the message. Automatically, what happened in this entire program level, wherever message keyword is there, automatically debugger breakpoint will be set. Automatically debugger breakpoint will be set. Okay. Automatically debugger breakpoint will be set. So you can see when I click on execute, my breakpoint is set. Breakpoint is set. So you can see those breakpoints here. You can see we have enabled what ABAP command message level we have enabled. ABAP command we have enabled message level. Let me go to desktop. So in desktop 2, it will tell you that you are in this location, right? Before which screen, which program got executed, and before which process got running. So the stack information which is available here, stack information. So now press F7. Already we have enabled the breakpoint at message keyword. Press F7 or F8 directly. We can press it, no issue. So now you can see. So you can see these many programs are running, but my breakpoint is setting over here. This location, because we're not providing that accurate location, right? You are giving the generic keyword, that message you have given. So that's why the entire program message keyword is set. So now we have, this is the one, this is like a warning. So fine, let me see that when I press F7, press F7. So again F7. So you can see, if you want to see the description and all, guys, you can see, just you can double click on this number, and this one you can see that. So press F7, F7. You can see all message level, wherever message is there, it is stopping that location. Then many programs will run. So now you can see somewhere we are reaching this location. It is reaching this location. Now when you press F5, it will come out of this program immediately. I402. So when I press F5, guys, please mute yourself. Press F8. So you can see that all messages now can say I105. This is the one we have, right? After this message, now can see that you can notice the cursor as well here. When I press F8, you can see you are getting the point. So we can recognize that, okay, that location we are getting that logic is triggering. So that's why you are getting this pop-up. Now again, you can start debugging. Again, you can start debugging on it. You'll understand that, okay, why the statement, what is the statement is causing issue, why the if condition is failing. So that and all, your function will take care of it. Sorry, your developer will take care of it. Finally, I reach you to this thing. Now the question is, suppose here you can see I'm taking some values. Let me remove this breakpoint, otherwise it will trigger all the locations. Fine. So now you can see this is the document date or something created by our pricing processor. So suppose whenever I'm going to build a program or tables programs, so at that time my functions is preparing FS, right? They're saying that hey, this customer reference number is there. You can take this value from here and you can display in the program. No, that is not possible for us. So you have to say that, sir, you have this order number. For based on this order number, where I can get this customer number, where I can get this customer number. So for that, what we have to do generally, you can press F1. If you know, if you have the good experience and all, you can provide the table name directly. So if you are in beginner level as a fresher, if you are going, we are going to press F1 and click on this technical information. You can see there is the information we have. Table name, we are saying. So, but don't confuse guys by saying this name. This is not always a table, but you can see the table category. Table category, if you see that. So this is the table category, right? Transparent table. It's saying the table means this is a table. So whatever name it is coming, it is not a table directly. Sometimes we may get a structure name as a. At that time, clearly they will mention it is a structure. By seeing this name itself, you have to identify that. So okay, I to get this customer number. So the value is storing in so and so field, so and so table, so and so field. Now you can write while writing the FS, pass the order number to VBAK table, get the VST and get field. You can inform to like that. For example, now here we are getting customer reference number, right? So you know this one. Now suppose I want to know that how this value is populating, what is the conditions? Because my function is saying that, hey, for this order number, in the table level, I have the value 1000 is there. But why I am getting 1, 2, 3, 4? Right? In the sales order level, we have the values 1000 is there. But, sorry, where I am. In sales order level, table level, I have the 1000 is there. But I am getting the value customer reference is 1, 2, 3, 4. How I am getting? So this is completely developer has to analyze this. So at that time, what we have to do? So let me go back to this one. I will go back to this main screen. So as VST, what is the field name? Let me take the field name first. In the header, press F1. Here we will not get a program name guys directly. We will not get a program names directly. So we have this one, then profile, VBAKF, VSTK. So just take this field. So go over here. Let me go back. I'm going back to my order. So I'm putting /h, enter. So let me provide my field name. See, still it is a blank. Now, I don't know where this value is populating. I want to know that, which condition this value is populating. So I will need to create a watch point for this field. I'm selecting this. I go to the watch point and paste it here. Here you can see that I'm not providing any condition, guys. Means whenever value is loading in this field, automatically my debugger will stop automatically. Automatically my debugger will stop. Just continue. My watch point is created. Now press F8. I can see there is some location. There is some location. My value got filled. You can see watch point reached. As down level, you can see the status message watch point reached and value is updated. So where the value is updated, now you can see there is a condition we have. The select statement. Okay, we are getting the this customer this value from so and so table. We are getting this value from so and so table. So this is the one of the option we have to find out by using watch points in the standard program. So if you want to find out any values, which where it is coming, and what logic is executing for that calculations and all, we have to do. This is the one of the useful option. Is it clear, guys? Fine. Just to, fine. So the next statement is suppose whenever I am going to execute this one to find out baddies and all, there is separate video is there. I will try to share it so you can check it. So just now we have set the message at message level, right? Similarly, I have to do Like a customer, I want to find out customer exits. For example, sorry. So this is my order. You can see whenever I'm trying to click on the shipping point, I want to get values over here. How I am getting this plan, how the shipping point, both are same. Some kind of things, or else how this net value calculation is happen. We want to find out this information. So we want to find out this information. How we will do that? Is there any user exits? Okay. Is there any customer exits? At the time, what we will do is, so again, from this tab calculation, I can put a slash h. When I click on this shipping. So if I want to see the any specifically, again, you can know, if you can know that you can put a watch point, I can see that values are indicated. If I want to see any customer functions, customer exits are implementing, I can type call customer function. This is the indicator for our customer functions, guys. So if you want to know the baddies, you can write get baddie, get baddie, hit enter. So this time you have enabled the debugger breakpoints. You can see get baddie, call customer function. This is the previous one, guys. The pk underscore 0 on the program very long back. We have discussed, right? That is the one. Now press F7 and F8. You can see that. You can see there is a get bad. One of the baddies is triggering to reaching that location. You can see all baddies are it is hitting. So your developers will take a check and you can whether it is a short to implement this baddie and you can implement it. Or else now you can see we have the customer function. Customer function means there's a function exists we have. So inside we have dummy include, so we can implement any logic and we can check it. Now you can see it is triggering so-and-so location, screen name equal to so-and-so. Those logics it will be available. So with the help of this only, our functions, I mean, our developers will implement the respective user exits. So providing this exit sandal is not a part of your functional activities. So it is a purely technical person should take care of it. Finding that right location enhancement, and see, he should find out that it is a completely developer responsibility. Okay, let me delete this one. Fine. And some more cases. There is a two activities in our system. If you notice it, in our system, there is two activities will run, guys. One should be we are saving the document. Right, we are saving the document. After saving, there is a commit will happen. Everyone knows, right? Because once document is saved, immediately it will not reflect in our tables. It may sometimes it may take some time, or else few cases within fraction of seconds, the values will be reflected in the table, right? Because due to load on the database at that time. So few cases we are writing right once the document got created, once the document. Sorry. Once document got created, so we have the commit function is there. So inside the commit function, some maybe I'm going to trigger some additional function. Once my order got created successfully, then I can send the information to so-and-so person, or else I can send this data to some other system through IDOC. So such kind of things and all. Those activities will trigger from after the commit, guys. After commit, it will trigger. So at that time, if you have to do the commit this update activities and all, so in the menu bar, in the debug itself, first you have to switch on to the debug, go to the settings. There is change debugger profile. Here we can see we have the update debugging is there. We have the update debug. In case if you're dealing with the background task, you can select this background task. You can select these two things and click on save. One-time activity. This is so for your ID, it will save automatically. Whenever updates will happen in that debugger level. So if you click on save, so my update debuggers also will trigger. In case of any change will happen, our update debugger will be triggered. If it is a background task also will trigger. It's clear? Are any questions on this? So suppose you can see you are creating the deliveries, all the things you are doing, right? For example, you are creating the delivery with PGI. Okay. So the moment when you click on PGI, so what happened first, it will document will save, right? Once the document will save, I need to trigger one item. Okay. Or else I need to send one confirmation to some other third-party systems. Once record is settled in the system. Okay. So suppose you can see if I trigger logic over here, if I trigger my logic, okay, if I trigger my custom logic after save document, if I trigger my logic over here during commit, in case of database failures will happen. At that time, already there is trigger will hit and the third party person will reach some information. But in our backend system, data is not available, right? That is the one case. So there is another case. What we have is, IDOCs. We have IDOCs, right? So whenever sales order got created, I want to send this order to some third party system. Okay. So at that time, we have a function level save document. We have user exit orders, save document. So what happens is the moment when you click on save, this logic will trigger immediately. Okay. This logic will trigger immediately means data will not be available in the table. Remember, data will not available in the table. So data will be there in the buffer. That's it. Data will be there in the buffer. Whenever the commit function will happen, okay, whenever the commit function will happen, then only records will be there in the table. Whenever records will be there in the table. So now I want to trigger a IDOC. So I want to trigger a IDOC. For that, I need to get the some information based on the whatever order we have created. I know the order number. Based on the order number, I need to bring some additional information. I need to pull some additional information. So at that time, if I write my logic over here, so still that those tables we don't have data, right? Those table level we don't have data because the data is not updated in the table. Before commit itself, my program is executing very fast and it is trying to check the data. At that time, we don't have data. So after some time, you can see that for analysis phase, hey, no, table data is there, but I'm not sure why it is not picking. Because the problem case is this is the statement they have written before commit is so data is not settled in the table, but there is some other program very fastly it is picking it is trying to check the entries in the table. So at that time entries is not found. That's why it is a fail. We have seen these cases, repeated cases in production system very frequently. So I have seen these cases very major cases in the system. So at that time, what happens is there is a case auto delivery creation. For example, you can take. As soon as once order got created, immediately I can create a delivery. Right? If it is through configuration and all, system will go as smooth. Okay, it is fine. If I am doing my programmatically, if I am doing programmatically, so in my program there is a two steps, right? First I have to create an order, then I have to create delivery. Right. So once I can create an order, I can give this is a asynchronous call, right? I'm giving the order information to them, and I'm not waiting for response for the order whether created or not. Okay, I will get some buffer level. I will get some number based on the number I'm trying to create the delivery. So still here my order contains 1,000 line items, for example. Okay, my order contains 10,000 items, but I'm creating only delivery for 2 line items. Now tell me in this case what happened. Definitely, your order will take time, right, for updating all the 1,000 records, 1,000 entries in the table. So if you try to open and try to create a delivery, at that time, order will not available in the table. Because our progress will go and check in the table whether the entry is there in the table or not. If entry is there in the table, we'll pick the data and we can proceed to create the deliveries. So similarly, in our standard process also, your data will be stored in the temporary buffer, like memory level it will be stored. Buffer level, those values will be there. As soon as commit statement will trigger, as soon as commit function will trigger, then only all the records will be updated in the backend table. So that's why if you notice it, most of the IDOCs and all, we are going to trigger at a commit. After commit only, we are going to write IDOC logics and all. After commit only, we are going to trigger IDOCs logics. input underscore orders or something like right. We have those and all. We are triggering that point of time. Clear? This one, or else I'll show you. Yeah. Checks means. Yeah, it will trigger. So at that time, you need to enable this one. First, update debugger we need to enable. Otherwise, these things will not help us. You don't under like the backend debugging will not be. Under this case, not only for IDOC case, sometimes we have some G tables we are updating, right? So with the standard transaction code, once orders got created, we are updating some G tables under. So at that time, what we are doing is those and all, and in the enhancements, we can't write commit statement because there is a standard commit will happen. So we can't write it in between the enhancement as a commit function. So that is not a valid one. So what we have to do is we'll create one RFC function module. In update task, we can do that. So if any functionality which is running in the separate update task level, definitely we have to put it as an update debug. Then only you can do the debug that functionality. Otherwise, you can't do. You never do the debug without this checkbox selection. So this one, if you want, I will show you in. There is a class with Priya on next Mondays. The same concept we are going to discuss. So update activity. So if possible, you can try to join on this. Okay. So fine. So in the classical ABAP level, I missed only one syntax, guys. Let me quickly complete that so that I can jump to BTP. So ABAP on cloud. So you can see nowadays, so we are writing programs this one. So as a latest syntaxes, we know everyone, right? We are writing syntaxes, new syntaxes. This one purely developers, but functions, if you want, you can see that. So now can say nowadays we are writing logics like this. So GVL is to be back equal to value hash. I'm using for loop instead of writing this kind of loop and moving one record to in this level. I'm writing for loop. My work area will be LT underscore VBAK. So the record by record I'm VBLN equal to LS hyphen VBLN. This is my one record. I'm taking some of the NETWR equal to LS hyphen NETWR. It's my record one and let's do this. So nowadays, the latest syntaxes, the programming is going to this manner. So the programs are going into this way. So let me debug this statement. So usually, guys, if you see here, if this one not nation, right? So I'm putting breakpoint over here and execute and execute. Fine. So now you can see the moment when I press F5. So the moment when I press F5, it is a normal loop. What happened? The moment when you press F5, if you have 1,000 records, 1,000 times you need to loop it, right? F5, 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 you can do that 1,000 times. If it's at 10,000, you can do that 10,000. So if this case, this is its inline declaration. The moment when I press F5, if we have 1 lakh records or 2 lakh records, doesn't matter. So single shot, all the data will go and sit in this internet. Now you can see total 50 records we got. Only one time press F5. Can only single time press F5, you will get all the 50 records. Okay, you will get all the records. So let me delete this table again. Fine. You will get all the records. Let me go back to this table. Go to the statement. So now I want to debug this step. So I want to debug this for loop. For that, we have the option is available, that is the step size. For that, we have option is available step size. Just click on the step size. Now you can press F5. You can see first, you can see the selection mark, how it is going. So now it is going to execute for loop. So it is selecting the record. and it is adding one record. Now you can see. Again, for loop got selected. See the selection mark after that record selection, and again entire selection. So one more record got inside. Again, third record, now you can see. So just I'm pressing F5. Please notice the difference. Okay, like this it will go. So like this, you can debug that if you want to debug specific iterations. So we can do that debugging for loops as well, normal around. Okay, and moreover, the system variables we have, guys, sci-hyphen, sci-hyphen will capture your user ID, and the sci-hyphen data will capture your current system date, right? Sci-hyphen table index will capture uh, your internal table index value. Sci-hyphen index will capture your loop iteration, right? So these are the system variables. If you try to put a breakpoint, so if you try to put a breakpoint and system variables level, so the question previously you asked me, Shasha, like uh, the system, if it's a normal local variables, so it will stop everywhere. So normal where system variables, right? So these are system variables. It's not a specific to your program, right? Right. Sometimes when you're executing the statement, there is just some standard programs also will execute inside the statement, right? So at that time, if you set a watch point on this level, for example, I'm setting the watch point IF and tab X. Whenever the tab X value got changed, whether this statement or down of the program in this statement, or while executing the statement, it should go inside the standard program. Inside the standard program, there is some tab X whenever it is reaching inside the loop. So all the levels, your watch point will be triggered. Okay, now you can see again all the levels, whenever this tab X value will change, all the levels your watch point will be triggered. Okay. So this is clear. This is for our normal GUI debug. So as of now, we are doing debug in normal SAP system like this way. Till today, we are doing this. So now onwards, so most we are going to HANA version and the latest systems we are going to use. So for that, we need to use the ADT tools. That is Eclipse. We are going to use it. So in the Eclipse, how we are going to do the debug, this kind of setup. I will just quickly show you on that. It will take another 15 to 20 minutes, guys. If you have time, please stay in the call. So here in the cloud system also, guys, as usual, we can create a programs, all the things. But since I'm using BTP trial account, so I don't have licensed version. But the one we have HANA system, right? Just now we have created program. The same I can use it over here. Let me open my program. So we can. Okay, so this is the program just now we have created. So nowadays you people will get editors like this. So instead of traditional GUI, you will get editors. Okay, so let me do either program or debug over here, or else in the BTP environment. This is my screen. Since directly I don't have access to create a programs here, so that's why I have created one wrapper class, and the wrapper class I'm going to do the changes. Either one, the debug is same, guys. Nothing is different. So you can put a session breakpoint here. You can see directly in this area. You can click on it. This is my session break. You can click on the dot. It will go off. Just again click on it. It will be session break. Okay. So as I said, external debugger, right? So for external debugging, how you will enable it? Right click on your system. So right click on your system, go to the properties. Go to the properties. In the debug, you can see we have the option. So user option. You can provide the specific user ID. Which user you are going to put a debugger. You can mention this user ID, so it becomes external debugging. Okay, it becomes external debugging. So again, if you have to do that to configure that workspace settings and all, here it is available. So you can see that enable debugging for system programs, always create exception objects. So all these things, if you want, you can select all these things. So far, I think Tony, this is for external debugging. You can go ahead this one. You can provide the respective user and apply close for external debugging. So here in normal debugging, just now you have seen we are getting the different screen. We have desktop 1, desktop 2, desktop 3, and also structures, tables, objects, breakpoints, all the things you are getting right. But here you will not get like that. You can see as soon as when I execute the program, I press F8. So let me execute. You can see this is my program. My debug screens will be reflect this. So here you'll get the screen stack, guys, which program is running, which where you are, what is the previous program which got executed, and all you will get it. And this is a variable section. So inside this variable section, we have the option. If you have local variables, you'll get a local. In case if you get a global variables, you'll get a global. The name itself, it will come over here straight away. So in normal debugging, you will get a variables, local, global, all the things you will get it. But here, not like that. If it is a local variable, you will get a local name. Globals, you will get a global. Okay, so if you can see, if I double click on my internal table name, it will come over here like this. And the structure names, oh, I'm not declared any structure, fine. So this is our internal table. And now when I press F5, here also the same options we have. You can see this is the options we have. Step into, step over, step return, and return to line. So F5, F6, F7, F8. So the next icon is the go to statement, guys. So the in the previous I have shown you, right. I want to skip this line. I want to go to that, but I can jump to that specific line. So this is the option: Shift F1, jump line. And this first icon will show the terminate. You can come out of the program. Like don't do the debugging. Quickly come out of this debugging process. And this is also the same disconnect. You can disconnect from the debugging. These are the icons. Please remember these icons. So these are the icons you need to remember. So this section. So whatever marking I have done. So these sections should be removed. Okay. So F5, F6, F7, F8. So now when I press F5, you can see my statement got executed. It reached to this location. And you can see total, just you can place the cursor, you can see you will get the data. It will show you directly here itself. So you have total 50 records and showing in the array format, you will get the data. If you want to show that entire table data, you can see already we have the variable, right? LT underscore VBAK. So right click on this one. Show, where is that preview? Yeah, show table view. Yeah. So this is the option. Click on show in table view. So you can see you'll get the data all in tabular form. It's loading. It's loading, guys. You have the data. So here you can change the values. Here you can change the values. Just right click on the record and you can see we have the delete row, insert row, change value. So you can see I can change this value to 1, 2, 3, 4 and enter. My value got changed in the internal table. Okay. So either if you want to delete the row, you can delete the row, select the row. From which row to which row you want to delete, you can select, you can delete the row as well. This is the table concept, right? So you can see since I'm using the loop statement, when I press F5, my record is going into work area. LSNS will be it. So this is a structure. Now you can see my structure contains these many fields. Since I'm using all the table fields, right? I'm getting views. These are all the fields in the structure. So in there also you'll get it same thing, guys. If you double click on the structure, it will open with the structure tab. There also you'll get it. This all the options we have. There also you'll get all the options we have. Okay. So, so now I want to put a like a conditional breakpoints. So I want to put a conditional breakpoint, or else I want to set a watch point on this. Whenever this my order value equal to 43, for example. Okay, so I want to take order value equal to 43. I want to put a condition. Like I want a watch point. So for that putting the watch point, what you have to do is select the respective variable, right click and set a watch point. At top level, you can see we have the option set watch point. Click on this set watch point. So now you can see your watch point got set. You can see we have this. So what you have done? You have selected this entire variable, right? You have selected this entire variable, not a specific field. So if you want a specific field level, so let me enter my variable ls underscore vback hyphen vbl. This is my field. So for this field, I want to set a conditional watch point. So right click over here, you can see we have the watch point. So for this, sorry, for this you can just go to breakpoint tab, ls underscore watch point. Now you can see you can provide your condition. So ls hyphen ls underscore vback hyphen vbln equal to my document name. And okay, so this watch point when it will trigger. So these are all watch points my previous objects, guys. Don't confuse. This is all the one my previous objects. So this is your conditional break watch point for this field. So if you don't want this watch point, just untick this checkbox. That's it. So now I have enabled it. Now press F7. Let's see. So now you can see we got a message at down. Watch point reached. Watch point reached, and also you can see in the table level the record is automatically selected. So currently location. Currently you are in that location. This is a watch point concept over. So either you can enter your system variables. So all the things you can enter, like I can enter sci-hyphen, uname, enter and I enter sci-hyphen, datum also you can enter your respective variables. You can see guys, it is adding over here. Sci uname, sci datum. Okay. So if you want to remove these watch points, what we have to do? You can go over here, you can see we have the option. Untick this. Untick this watch points or breakpoints, whatever. Okay. So there is a one more statement we have seen right in normal ABAP debugging. The statement level breakpoints. Statement level breakpoints we have seen. How we are doing statement level breakpoint? Here there's a two options we have. One is under breakpoint section. We have this is the icon add ABAP breakpoint. Click on this. You can see ABAP statement breakpoint, ABAP add exception breakpoint, add message breakpoint. Now click on add statement breakpoint. So here you can specify your statement. Which statement you want? You want to message, uh, call transaction, or call customer hyphen function. Now you can see all the watch points. Sorry, statement wise breakpoints. You can see the statement wise. So now you can press F8 whenever the statement is available in this program. It will be standard and custom. So at that time your breakpoints will be available. Like this, you can set a breakpoint statement wise. So like I want to set a for baddie, get baddie, baddie. For message level, now you can see we have the message breakpoint. So you can provide your message like I want to be here, the message number 105. If you know the message type, you can provide. You can continue. So this is my message specific breakpoint. Whenever this message got triggered, my debugger will be stopped in that location. That's clear or any question on this? So nothing is different, the same thing. Either you can change the debug level values also, you can these values also you can change. So change the value, you can hit enter. So that's it. Automatically value will be updated. So please note that whatever values you are changing at a debugger level, those are not saved in the backend database tables. It will be available only at runtime only. It will be available at only runtime only. Is it clear? Fine. So let go for this for loop also. We'll try to start debugging. Let me remove these breakpoints. Since I have other programs, that's why it is showing all the list. Let me remove that. Right click and I can remove. Right. So I have cleared by all the breakpoints, whatever active breakpoints are there. So now let me go to, I'll put a breakpoint here, press F7. Fine, I reached to this location. So here you can. So now let's do the debugging of this for you. The same way how you're doing in class lab up here also we can do that. So let do one thing. I will take this option to our cloud environment, that is we are using BTP trial account. So in the trial account, we will try to debug this one, how it will look like. So let me press F8, come out of this, and switch to ABAP perspective. Let me open this class. Now you can see here is one of the sample program we have, and I'm using as a for loop. For loop. So you can enable the session breakpoint, and execute, console, console. Now you can see where it is. So the moment when you press F5, automatically what happens, whatever the cards are there in LT underscore right, all the data will go and it will sit into GT underscore record. So press F5, you can see GT underscore record, we have all the data. Okay. So now what I have to do is I want to do the debug of my for loop. Let me delete the records. Let me go back to the statement. This is go to statement. So here you can see there is one option above debugger actions. Click on it. And here you can see we have the step size line and step size expression. So if you choose as expression, the each records how it is populating, those and that will come. And if you choose as a line, the entire line records will be populated. So that you guys, you can try me. Let me show you again. So in this option, you can see we have the step size and step. It will go as a line. If you choose a step size, it will be expression. So now I'm choosing as a step size with the expression. Select this. Fine. So step size with the expression I have selected. Now you can see. Now when you press F5, you can see this. Now it is entering into this first statement. After that, it is doing this expression. Now one record the data. Again, for loop is loading, and the expression logic, whatever record mapping we have. So that record mapping is done. So immediately the record is going to append into your interrupt. You can see the records are appending into your third one as well. So this is the way we are doing the form. There we have the step size, how we have, and here also we have the step size option. So let me put it back to step size in the line. So now you can press F5. It will come out of this entire process. It will come out of it entire process, guys. It will come out of it entire process. Please remember these options. And in our lab, we have update debugger. Update debugger is there, right? Here, this is the option. In case if you want to debug with any update related functionalities, so at that time you can choose update debugger. You can choose the update debugger option. Okay, so these are the all options which we have in our ADT tools like watch point with the conditions, and debugging with the for loops, and also changing the values, inserting the data into an internal table, right? All these options. And statement-wise breakpoints also we have covered. So you have to practice all these things, guys. But I know since you're working with the classical ABAP, classical programs, right? So you are familiar with those debugging things. But currently, now we are switching into our advanced things, right? At that time, you people should work with ADT tools in the Eclipse. So you have to practice all these things. Okay, you have to practice all these things. So try to explore more things, more functionalities over here, like create a function module, make it as that is update enabled function modules, and do the update debugging, how it is triggering. So those activities and all you have to see. Okay, so this is for step size. And the next one, I have to take a trace. How you going to take a trace? So that one we will discuss now. So in normal ABAP, we have the option is ST12 is the option to take it to that traces. So now we will see how to take the trace in these programs. The first what you have to do is
You have to profile level, you can enable the trace parameters. We'll come out of this, plus separate. Come out of this, let me close other windows as well. Close other windows. Okay. So right click on your program. So you can see we have profile. Click on ABAP application console. So these are the trace parameters. So these are the trace parameters. Now you can see perform aggregated measurements. No, I need a call sequence. And yes, I need a aggregated call tree, and yes, a hit list. Okay, guys, you can try with these options. You will understand that the difference between which are level. Okay, first you need to enable this. These traces you have to enable, and I'm choosing this no option for right now. I want to do that processor unique SQL database access, access of your internal tables, time of events, so other events. I'm choosing all the activities. Okay. I'm choosing all the activities. Just click on finish. Once it is done, you have to open the above profile. Now, once we have to open the above profile. So since we have activated the trace, right? So that's why it is getting triggered, guys. Since we have activated the trace, it is getting triggered. So first we have to activate the above profiling. Click on submit. You can go to the above profile. Click on this plus symbol. This is the above profiling. You can choose above profiling. Click on open. So in this above profiling, you will get those trace results and everything will be captured. Your trace results will be captured. These are the traces we have. So this is our trial account, a BTP trial account. Expand this. You can see we have the trace. So just check the date and time, and you can see the latest one. So this is the latest one, right? 0310. So just if you can double click here, it will open the trace. So if you want to see that the hit list and whatever the statements got executed, what is the sequence, all the things, how much time it is getting consumed, all the information which is available. You can see that call sequence also. Just click on it and your call sequence will be available. So which statement is executing, what statements are running, all the statements which we have. The sequence and all it will provide the list. Okay. So this is the trace request. This here, first one, right? Double click. Save trace request. You can see you all the programs. What is hitting and how you're getting the data. So this is the way we are taking traces in our ADT tools. This is the way we are taking traces in ADT tools. So let me delete this and let me delete my traces which I have created. Let me rerun the program. I hope there is no breakpoints. Web console. Okay. Let me refresh. I will click on the above profiling first. Can activate this console. So I have activated the trace. Finish. It's running the background guys. So come to get exit. Sorry, it got created again. So now I can double click. Now I can see this time how much time it is taking. 2% in our ABAP stack and 19% is in the If you want to see the call sequence and database access and all, you can click on this respective option. So we'll get to know that what is the sequence which you're getting. Okay. So is it clear, guys? So we'll see more in coming programs that trace functionalities, how we utilize all this. Just today I have shown you as a high level demo. for trace. So because our main target today is for only debugging, so that's why we focus on only debugging concepts. So this trace, I'm giving the hint for coming sessions. We'll focus on this trace activities later. Hope is clear. No questions on this. Hope is clear. No questions on this. Fine. Okay, guys. Fine. Bye. Thank you.